Hey, how you doing? It's JD from Boom Dopamine Shift, and me and some of my buddies were sitting around and we were talking about, how AI started. Okay, and it just made me want to do a video on it. Okay, so the biggest thing I found out though is that the story that most people believe about artificial intelligence is a toy rocket, and the real story is a Saturn V hiding behind a velvet curtain. The public version says AI came from Silicon Valley garages, genius coders, and friendly apps. But the real version comes from military funding, cognitive science, Cold War paranoia, surveillance economics, and only later consumer convenience layered on top. Artificial intelligence was not born to entertain you. It was born to see faster than enemies, decide faster than humans, and dominate perception. And let me walk you through the real evolution of AI, starting exactly where it begins, with DARPA. Of course, they weren't called DARPA yet. They were called ARPA first. Okay? And this takes place from 1943 to 1969. The war brain is born. In 1943, two researchers named Warren McCullough and Walter Pitts published a paper showing that neurons can be modeled using logic gates. This is the ignition point. If thought can be reduced to math, then minds can be engineered. Not spirituality, not consciousness, but computation. This idea quickly infects military research culture. If thinking is programmable, then intelligence becomes a weapon. The seed is planted. In 1950, Alan Turing asks a famous question: can machines think? But what he really does is redefine thinking as a behavior that can be measured and imitated. If a machine can convincingly behave intelligently, functionally, it has become intelligence. Perfect framing for perfect defense systems. In 1956, at the Dartmouth Conference, the term artificial intelligence is officially coined. The scientists believe human intelligence will be solved in a generation, and they confuse simple manipulation with real cognition. The classic overconfidence of scientists. Then the military stepped in. From 1958 forward, ARPA begins funding massive AI-related research, language translation for spying on Soviet communications, pattern recognition for radar and missile detection, robotics for hostile environments, ARPANET, the ancestor of the internet. AI was never just curiosity, it was perception dominance. Who sees first wins. Okay. From 1970 to 1995 was the AI winter and the quiet continuation. Public funding collapses twice when hype outpaces the hardware. Computers are slow, data is scarce, memory is expensive, and neural networks cannot scale. The media declares AI dead, but defense research never stops. It simply goes underground into signal processing, expert systems, autonomous guidance, surveillance modeling, and simulation environments. The snake keeps growing in the grass. Now, 1995 to 2012, data becomes the new oil. Three forces collide. First, the internet creates planetary scale behavioral data. Second, gaming accidentally turns GPUs into neural accelerators. Third, cloud computing makes storage and training cheap. Suddenly, human behavior becomes measurable at scale. Search logs, clicks, location patterns, social graphs, emotional triggers. This is when AI shifts from military dominance to attention dominance. The battlefield becomes your nervous system. Between 2006 and 2012, neural networks awaken again. Jeff Hinton and others revived deep learning with better math and massive data sets. In 2012, ImageNet happens. AI surpasses human-level image recognition. This is the real inflection point. Not chatbots, not voice assistants. Vision unlocks automation, surveillance, robotics, targeting, and autonomy. Defense funding explodes again. Now, from 2013 to 2020, we have the behavior engines and influence machines. AI now optimizes behavior. What you click, what you watch, what you believe, what keeps you scrolling, what triggers dopamine. Recommendation engines become the most powerful psychological machine ever built. Reinforcement learning trains machines. The same math trains humans. Slot machine mechanics at a planetary scale. Not evil, not benevolent. Optimization without wisdom. Now, 2020 to now, transformers unlock language at scale. Models evolve from tools into engines of reasoning, creativity, planning, and synthesis. Cognition becomes infrastructure. Governments quietly panic because whoever controls large models controls education, narrative framing, scientific acceleration, economic leverage, and military autonomy. This is not a commercial race, it's geopolitical. Same movie, new costume. Now, this is the hidden truth that most people miss. AI didn't evolve in a straight line. It evolved in 3 stacked layers. Layer 1 was military perception control. See first, decide faster, strike precisely. Layer 2, economic attention control. Predict humans, shape behavior, monetize cognition. Layer 3, cognitive automation. Outsourcing thinking itself. Scale intelligence cheaply. Once you see this stack, everything suddenly makes sense. And why this matters. We now live inside algorithmic environments. Most people are being trained by machines without realizing it. Dopamine loops, behavior shaping, attention extraction, identity erosion. The future is not just about smarter machines. It's about whether humans retain agency inside systems designed to optimize behavior. This is not science fiction. This is already happening. Artificial intelligence was never about building smarter tools. It was always about perception, prediction, and power. The question is no longer whether AI will change civilization, because it already has. The real question is whether humans learn how to consciously evolve alongside it, or slowly surrender agency to invisible systems optimizing our attention. And that choice is still open for now.